My name is Amanda Kaufman, and today we're talking about growing a coaching business organically. And I'm going live on all the places because it is Monday, it's 9 a.m., and I am so excited to have you here. Look, building a coaching business is hard at the best of times, and it is so much easier, so much better when you know where you're headed. So, I'm doing this make it happen kind of Monday so that I can talk to you a little bit about, what's motivating you, what's actually going to make the biggest difference in your results. And today we are focused on growing a coaching business organically. Now, if you're joining me live on Instagram, you're also welcome to raise your hand by pushing the little plus sign on the little camera at the bottom, and you can actually join me for an interview. Like I'll help you with your business, whether you want to talk about your messaging, your systems, whatever it is that you want to work on today. So here's what we're going to be talking about today. If you don't know me, my name is Amanda Kaufman, and I am a certified high performance coach. I'm a core energy coach and a business strategist, and I have built my business almost exclusively on social media for the past 7, 8 years. So hello, Adele. Nice to see you. I'm glad that you're here. So let's dig into this. Coaching, I came about it basically from being a water cooler coach. So what I mean by that is I was really happy to help people in my workplace. And so I did. I helped people kind of between our meetings or over the lunch hour with their life balance, with performing better, with getting the promotion, whatever it was. And I realized that that was the thing that actually sparked the most joy in my life was coaching. Now, there was just one problem. I really didn't know too many people outside of work. And I wanted to become an entrepreneur because I wanted to have more time freedom, more location freedom, all the freedoms. Like a lot of the reasons why a lot of coaches become entrepreneurs is because they want to live in their genius zone and they want to be able to work when they want or with whom they want and all of those freedoms. So I loved that. And I'm going to be giving you today some real actionable steps that help me go from just 8 names on a post-it because I felt like I didn't know anybody. I felt like I didn't know anybody who would want my coaching or find my coaching to be important. And yeah, I'm like really, really stoked to share these with you. So um, I'm going to be building you out like 3 big tips on building your coaching business organically. Because if you're like me, I didn't know I wasn't born learning how to do advertising. So I do know how to do advertising now, but I wasn't born knowing how, I had to learn how. And so with that being said, um, organic is really awesome because it gives you an opportunity every single day to get better at what you do and get better at your message. So I'm a big fan of organic. And this year, I actually had the experience of needing to get better at organic really earnestly. The reason why is because our ads stopped working really well, and I needed better messaging. I needed a better process. And so we doubled down this summer on organic marketing. And I'm really excited to share with you that we didn't just succeed with doing some organic marketing. We doubled the output for our marketing, both in effort and because we had reduced our ad spend so much. And I just had to share this with you. So, first, I want to share with you like why you don't need ads to attract your ideal clients. And if I'm looking down, it's because I got my notes today. I want to make sure that I really hit all of these things. So I thought that in order to be a serious business or to be able to attract people outside of my immediate bubble, that I would need ads. I became very dependent on ads. And I was spending quite a lot. I thought that if I was going to be a serious business, I had to do advertising. I do still believe you need to market your business, but what I've realized is that when you have a really strong organic marketing game, it actually improves your advertising as well in general. And if you're wondering, like, am I qualified to really talk about organic versus ads? Well, I've been doing something organic online for the last 7 years. And in terms of advertising, I really got into that about 4 or 5 years ago. And I've personally, in my business, spent over $250,000 on advertising. So I really do understand it. But when it stops working, what a lot of people don't know is that when you build a funnel or you build an ad, people treat it like that's the end of the process. It's very much not. Every advertising campaign, it atrophies after a while. It stops working after a while. So, um, kind of the shift is, instead of thinking that when you are going to build like a process or a way that people are going to meet you, stop treating that like it's this arrival place and that you've got to push people into wanting to hang out with you. If instead you can focus on attraction based marketing, pulling people towards you because you're talking about something that they are attracted to, just like a moth being attracted to the flame, you're going to be so much better off. So, this idea is that if you can position yourself as a go to expert in a specific area, then you're going to do far better with both your organic and your paid. But today we're just really focused on organic marketing. I actually got an email earlier today from a member of the community saying that he was giving up on coaching and he was giving up on Get Rich Quick and he was giving up on this, that, and the other. And part of what was the catalyst for him giving up was because he spent a lot of money with a book coach who promised, I don't know what they promised, but he was under the impression that he was going to get a bunch of clients because of the books. I could take one look at the books that this person did. Now, first of all, be super proud of the books you create. Like, this is not shade on the books whatsoever. And I can also see how those books would be appealing to people who probably are not going to invest a lot in coaching and so on, because the author wasn't writing the books for somebody who was wanting to solve a problem that they'd be willing to pay to solve. He was writing the books based on a core interest that he has. And there's a very big difference between something being very interesting and something that is going to be an investment pursuit. So we want to focus your content on being authentically valuable, not just interesting, but authentically valuable. So a really good example is, lately I had a standard operating procedure that I shared, an SOP that I shared for coaches who wanted to stop coaching for free. And instead, I have this paid coffee chat method that allows people to protect their calendar and talk to people who are more serious. Well, that's an actionable strategy. And by the way, if you say the word coffee, I can send you that SOP if you're really interested in seeing what it is. But in there, I talk about why it's really important to have a strategy like this. I talk about why it works. I talk about why other things don't work. I give specific steps and actionable scripting strategies to be able to use this method. So for someone who is tired of giving away their coaching for free and not getting anywhere with their marketing, this is a really valuable insight. It's a very valuable tool. I've done plenty of interesting content that people will read, but like they treat it a little like Netflix instead of being more of something that can be actionable, that they can see themselves actually using and doing. So people will connect with content that solves a problem that they are actively facing. So for example, another lead magnet that I did that was really, really useful for my audience is, I have my 1-page social content planner. And like, my person often doesn't know what to put on their social media. They have a hard time deciding what to focus on or what to emphasize in their presence online. So I made a 1-page framework that they could actually complete and then have that question answered. And I think a lot of the content that I've done in the past, where I didn't think about how can it be actionable right now, I didn't get the same kind of buzz or the same kind of result. But the stuff that really like helped people make a decision, move forward, do something that they weren't able to do before they read my thing, I mean, it just did so much better. Hey, Rebecca, I'm glad you're here. So, if you're wanting to have a better organic relationship with people, I think it actually starts way before you go online, which is, are you actively and proactively solving a genuine problem that your perfect person really has? So kind of an issue that I see a lot with a lot of entrepreneurs is that they are so in love with this unicorn idea, and they want to find this unicorn person who's also going to appreciate it to the same extent that they do. And then they're super disappointed because nobody appreciates it as much as they do. And what I realize is like, hey, if we just flip the unicorn idea, let you be the unicorn. You get to be unique in your expression. You get to be unique in what you emphasize and what you focus on. You are the unique one. Stop looking for customers that are so unique that you cannot even find them. Instead, look for people who are already wanting help right now, wanting to do the thing. And honestly, your whole business is going to change. Where do you actually post this valuable content? Number one, put it on your own feeds. I see a lot of people going into other people's Facebook groups and they're disappointed again because they're like, well, I thought that this person would, or this group would fall all over themselves to consume my content. You can share content into other groups if the rules of the group allow for it, for sure. But then also share it on your own feed. Be the source of your own content. And I think this is something that's often overlooked because people are treating like other people's communities like some sort of a fish in a barrel kind of an experiment. And that's not the vibe. That's not what you want to do. The second thing that we discovered when we really started doubling down on organic was actually not even on social media. It's the hidden gold that's in your network. Okay, so organic referrals. So when you decide that you're going to be really good at organic social media, it's also simultaneously a decision to get really good at organic networking. I always thought referrals would just kind of come magically once I got clients, and it turns out that there are a lot of people that are already in your network that are championing you, that are really excited to see you grow. So just make sure you're tapping into that network. And my number one thing about networking is stop treating networking like you only hit people up when you want something. I know I've made that mistake and it was super unintentional. And the way I got into that mistake is I am kind of a do the journaling on my own kind of gal. And I was looking next to my nightstand yesterday and I was like, oh my God, I have 9 books, and like over the weekend, my idea of a really good time was watching a bunch of Star Wars with my kids and crocheting washcloths. That is what I'm obsessed with right now. So I'm not like this natural party extrovert necessarily. But I am somebody who really appreciates longevity in relationships, and I am somebody who really appreciates authentic connection and authentically supporting other people. And so when I realized that everybody kind of appreciates that, everyone appreciates being seen, everyone appreciates the circle back, that really helped me a lot. So kind of a quick actionable on this one is make a point every day of activating a new part of your network. So when I say activating your network, I literally mean say hello. I managed to collect over 4,000 friends on Facebook, and I ran a little tool that showed me like how many were disengaged. Out of 4,000 followers, I've got maybe 550 people that are really regularly engaged with me on Facebook. And that's actually pretty good. That's a pretty decent engagement rate. But I think the thing that we don't really realize about relationships is that there's going to be a few key relationships that are going to be completely transformative, where you get to be transformative for them, where they are going to be transformative for you. And the fun part is you don't really get to predict with a lot of accuracy in advance who's going to be the one that ends up pulling through. And what you can control is, are you the one that's following through? Are you the one that is doing the outreach? Are you the one that is checking in on people? And, don't say I'm checking in on you, right? Instead, be like, happy birthday. So do the birthday thing. Congratulations on your anniversary. Congratulations on your promotion. Like, reach out and find out what the news is of other people's lives. And you'd be so surprised how many people are then going to just be talking about you simply because you're talking to them. Another simple message that can really, really help is, hey, I've been helping people with XYZ. If you know anyone that could use a fresh strategy, feel free to connect us. It doesn't have to be like this crazy ask, I've played with the language a lot, and people just want to know, what are you up to? What are you building? And do I care? That's it, right? And a lot of people won't care, but some people will. And that is the magic of organic. Now, I think one insight here is that probably 80% of your business is going to come from people who maybe don't know you, but know a friend of yours. So that's going to be like your warmer network. And the reason why is because coaching is a relationship sport. People want to have a great relationship with someone that they can trust, that they can share their truth with. And if you can leverage what's already in front of you, you're going to have so much growth. So let's talk a little bit more about the social media side of things. And by the way, if you're on Instagram and you want to do a little Q&A, there's a little camera with a plus sign at the bottom. You can hit that to request to come live with me. Or if you just prefer to ask your question, there's a little speech bubble in the bottom with a question mark. You can put your questions there and I'll answer the questions on Instagram. And if you're watching on another platform, be sure to follow me at the Amanda Kaufman on Instagram if you'd like to get your live questions asked on a Monday. Okay, let's talk about sustainable growth through consistent, authentic engagement. I really want to point something out to you, and that is I'm using notes. I'm using notes. It doesn't mean that I'm not authentic. I authentically selected the topic for today. I authentically prepared for this session today. I'm authentically telling you stories from my heart today, and I'm staying on track with some notes. I think that there's a lot of stigma around preparation being required to be authentic. And I totally disagree. I think that if more people were willing to take notes and show that they were prepared and to just bring some excellence, that's totally okay. It doesn't make you not perfect. So one thing I'll let you know is, like, when you very first start using social media actively as a strategy, it can feel a little like you're screaming into the void. Like it's this black hole that people aren't really understanding or appreciating you. And that's super normal. But what I realized was, after posting consistently anyway and navigating through that discomfort, I saw so many more inquiries, so many more conversations started with so many more people, simply because I had the track record of being a consistent and reliable person. Most people, when they go into business, they expect this get rich quick silver bullet thing. They expect that they can just do a thing and really quick, they're going to get a huge result in return. And that's actually not the way of it. The way of it is more like you show up in a huge way, you learn from how you're showing up and improve how you're showing up. And hopefully you'll be lucky enough and prepared to strike when the opportunity arises. That's far more what it's like to run a real business. So I'm going to give you this little framework, this little tip, and I'm going to be doing a full watch party of my course, The Coach's Social Media Cure, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. So if you are really interested in the watch party, again, reply social if you want to get my one pager on social media, and I'll also share with you the details for that workshop if you want to come. So the quick framework is the 3C formula. So the 3 C's are consistency, connection, and conversations. So if you're posting all the time to social media and you get no conversations around it, you're getting nothing in the DMs, nothing in your messenger, nothing in your direct messages, then it's probably because you have an issue with connection. So what's connection? Connection is the congruency or the alignment of what you're talking about being relevant to someone wanting to speak to you in a deeper way. Most people, when they go to do social media, there's a couple of issues. One, they're super inconsistent. They don't show up with regularity and they don't post with enough frequency to be seen in the feed. And the fact is that social media is largely a free endeavor. So a lot of people have a lot of time to create a lot of content. Let go of a story that you cannot post more than once a day or to more than one platform. That's not helping you, and you're being left behind as compared to somebody who is really committed to creating connection across multiple different platforms. I think the other issue with connection, once somebody is consistent with social media, and I've definitely been guilty of this one too, is not sharing content that actually matters to the audience enough to hold their attention and convert them forward to taking some kind of an action. So, there's a lot of things you can do to seek attention. I fell down the Instagram reel hole today, and I found an influencer who regularly complained about how he wasn't getting any brand deals and he wasn't getting any monetization, but he had all these followers. And I think that the reason why is his content was funny, but it wasn't connecting to people's daily life experience. It wasn't connecting to problems that people wanted to solve or interests that people necessarily had in a deeper kind of a way. So the connection piece was missing. So there wasn't much to convert from. I think another way that the connection issue can show up for people is when they get so excited by being controversial online that or by curating like their image online, that it's like this cold representation. So something that I talk about in the social media solution course is that your social media strategy as a coach or as someone who's wanting to coach other people is different than if you were selling t-shirts or keychains or battery banks or selling edible gummies or whatever. I guess all gummies are edible, but you know what I'm saying. So like if you were selling those kinds of products, it would be a very different strategy than the strategy that works for attracting high ticket clients. And the strategy for all of it is have a personal brand, because all things being equal, people buy from their friends, and all things not being equal, people buy from their friends. The difference for an expert is that you need to be, I got this term from Mara Glazer, you need to be a friend tour, right? So it's like a friendly mentor, somebody who actually has something of value to share with people. And so how do you uncover that connecting thing? Well, I love to do it through coffee chats. I love to do it through my coaching calls. I love to do it through my sales calls. I love to do it through speaking to other people that I know in the industry and finding out like, where are people getting stuck? Where did I get stuck? And most importantly, what did I do to solve it? If you're kind of holding back on sharing with people how you can actually solve a real problem, it's hard to be surprised when people don't want to have a deeper conversation with you. So it's super, super important to be genuine, be present, and to show up consistently in the spaces, talking about the real solutions that have created meaningful results. So your actionable tip from this one is to dedicate just 20 minutes a day to being a valuable member of community. So things that I do include, I will do a minimum of 10 likes in each of the platforms that I'm present on. And I do 8 to 10 comments on other people's content in each of the platforms that I'm engaged with. So that could be LinkedIn, that could be Facebook, that could be Instagram. But I just take those 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day to support what other people are doing, just as much as I'm showing up for sharing something that's really, really valuable. So with that being said, I'm not seeing any requests to join for this week or any open questions, this is where I would do that. So next week, I'm going to be live at 9 a.m. Central back here on this channel. And if you're on Instagram at the Amanda Kaufman, I'm available for your live questions, and we can work through the different challenges that you're working through as you become the best coach that you can possibly be. All right. So thank you so much for joining. If you are looking for a business coach who's going to tell you the truth and is going to share with you what really matters for getting alignment, shout out the word expert or send me a DM with the word expert, and I'll be very happy to share with you our program, the Experts Network, that is full of curriculum, it's full of the community, and of course, the coaching and connection that you need to be very successful as an amazing coach. All right, y'all, my name is Amanda Kaufman, and I really appreciate you being here today, and we will see you next week. Bye.